Welcome to another Fantasy Goodfellas video where we talk about the top 15 tight ends for Week 13. You ready?
Let's do it.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas. For the top 15 tight end rankings for Week 13, Richard, take it over.
At number 1, we have Travis Kelce, who will be home against Denver.
Kelce's only scored one touchdown in the last 5 weeks, and you still got him number 1.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's Travis Kelce. He still leads all tight ends in yardage, fantasy points. He truly is the number 1 fantasy tight end, but has he produced first-round numbers? Because in most leagues, he was drafted in the first round. Absolutely not. And number 2, Rob Gronkowski at Atlanta.
You've always said if Gronk plays, he's in your top 15.
Again, the Tom Brady effect. Tom Brady throws a lot of touchdowns. He loves to throw to Gronk in the red zone. So it's a winning situation and a great matchup. And number 3, Mark Andrews at Pittsburgh.
Mark Andrews is still just having a pretty good season. What do you expect him to do this week versus Pittsburgh?
Well, we know how much Lamar Jackson likes to throw to Mark Andrews, so much that he's forcing balls that are getting intercepted. And again, Lamar Jackson's not going to pass for that many yards, but when he does pass it, he's looking for 2 guys, Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown. And number 4, Darren Waller, home against Washington.
I see Waller being a little inconsistent lately. How do you see it?
He has been. And again, that has to do with Derek Carr and Derek Carr's inconsistencies. He's not looking Waller's way as often as he should. And hopefully Waller's not hurt. He may not play this week. And number 5, Mike Gesicki, home against the Giants.
I'm not so sure about Mike Gesicki. I know he's a talented guy, but 2 TDs on the season. What's going on with him, and why do you depend on him?
He's going to get targets, and that's the thing. You know, he may not have had a great week 12, but Tua loves to throw it to Gesicki, and he is arguably the best receiver now on the Dolphins, even though Waddle is starting to make a case for himself. Because he gets the targets, I like Gesicki. And number 6, George Kittle at Seattle.
We know Kittle's a talented guy. Last week didn't show it. What do you expect this week?
I expect a rebound. Again, Kittle he's a top 5 tight end, and his issue is Garoppolo at quarterback. Not a great situation, but I expect Kittle to put up numbers this week in Week 13. At 7, we have Dalton Schultz, who will be at New Orleans.
All right, I just got one question for you. Does Schultz get into the end zone this week?
I would say yes. More often than not, he's going to score. He is amongst league leaders in touchdowns from the tight end position. And number 8, TJ Hockenson, home against Minnesota.
I finally had a chance to see Hockenson play. He looks good. What do you expect him to do in Week 13?
Hawkinson's super talented. He was in college. Obviously, he's been in the pros. His issue is Jared Goff and the Lions, but he's still trying to put up numbers despite his situation. And I like him. And number 9, Kyle Pitts, who will be home against Tampa Bay.
You talked about Kyle Pitts being out of your top 15. He's still here. What makes him stay?
He's dropping. He is definitely losing value. Again, you have to ask yourself the question, is it a Matt Ryan thing or is Kyle Pitts just overrated? But if you look at his overall numbers, except for that one game against the Dolphins, they've been pretty bad. And number 10, Pat Freiermuth, who will be home against Baltimore.
I guess you like Pat because he can find the end zone, right?
He scored a lot of touchdowns in limited games, limited targets. So, yeah, you got to like him. At this point, it's a trend. But is he going to play Week 13? We will see. He does have a concussion issue. So keep an eye on that. And number 11, Dawson Knox, who will be home against New England.
I guess you like Dawson Knox because he's a lead leaguer in TDs for tight ends, right?
Yeah. I mean, that helps. And if you've seen him play, if you've seen Dawson Knox, he's a plus athlete. They use him in different situations. Sometimes they have him passing the ball. Sometimes they'll give him a handoff. So I like Dawson Knox. Buffalo likes him. He's been producing. And number 12, Logan Thomas at Las Vegas.
Logan Thomas is expected to return. I guess you like him because there's nothing to really prove how good he can do this season, right?
Yeah. We are putting him here based on his track record. I think Logan Thomas is a top 10 tight end, but let's see how he comes back from injury. So right now we have him slotted at number 12. At 13, Dallas Goedert, who will be at the New York Jets.
Last week, he had 1 reception for 0 yards. What do you like about him for week 13?
Goedert is another one, right? Another guy that's a top 10 tight end, should be on paper. And he's got a good matchup this week. We'll see what he does. But he definitely is one of those guys that if he doesn't produce this week, he's out. And number 14, Noah Fant at Kansas City.
Noah Fant started off strong, kind of dropping off a little bit. What do you like about him that keeps him in your top 15?
I'll tell you one thing. Patrick Mahomes is going to put up points this game. Kansas City is rolling right now. They're going to put up points. Denver's going to have to pass a lot to keep up. Noah Fant's going to do well. And number 15, we have Hunter Henry, who will be at Buffalo.
Here's another guy that had 2 subpar games, and he's still in your top 15. Why?
Because Hunter Henry leads the league in touchdown receptions for a tight end with 7. You know, he's tied with Dawson Knox, and young Mac Jones likes to throw to Hunter Henry in the red zone.
Thanks for coming on here and sharing your top 15 tight end rankings for week 13.
All right, we made it through week 13. Remember to like and subscribe. Remember to ask your questions in the comments section. Watch all our videos, and we'll see you next week.
If you're still watching this video, then you're a truly fantasy football fanatic, and your league might need some t-shirts to crown your champion. There's a link below if your league needs a champion t-shirt that we designed.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.